Well, the progressives, the America haters on the left may just be doing capitalism a favor. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 22nd. And, I think that the Squads Act, the hatred that they show for this country, I think is finally wearing thin on more pieces of America. And I think that we're going to see some dramatic changes coming up in the November election, which is getting here before we know it. And again, look, I am neither a Republican nor a Democrat. I don't support either party because they're both criminals. I'm a RC Cola guy, okay? Not Pepsi, not Coke, but RC. I'd like to see us get a third candidate on ballots in every state, which will never happen because you got your choice of Coke or Pepsi, Democrat, Republican, and that's it. And they're all criminals. They all steal to their heart's content because guess what? We get to foot the bill through taxes and through other things. And because they've got control of the imbecile Federal Reserve, which is, again, the wokeism of the Fed now fell into the Bidenomics program. Okay. And, they're trying their best not to hike any faster, but they're going to be forced to because, of course, President Biden or whoever is controlling the teleprompter won't let us drill oil. Okay. So we continue to be at the mercy of our enemies. We continue to have to listen to the bullshit from President Biden that it's Russia's fault when these prices were up here long before Russia, and the economy has been messed up for years. You can blame Trump, you can blame Bush, you can blame Obama. Look, we don't do a good job at staying to a budget like normal people have to do, and they continue to bank on the Federal Reserve to print more money, which what does it really do? It reduces your personal value. Okay. Printing money is like taking money right out of your pocket. The Fed has done it since 1913, and the central banking system has done it since the 1600s. Screw the people with their fraudulent fiat currency system. All they were able to do when they took away the gold standard and other things is they were able to accelerate the crap that they do. Okay. It's a phony system. Okay, that they get the benefit from to spend money we don't have because we end up having to pay for it anyways because of the value of our dollars. So don't get me started any further than that. It's enough that they've done it for 109 years. Okay, I think the laugh of the week is California proposes a gas and stimulus checks. Really? Haven't you learned from the last stimulus package how dangerous it is to continue to try to borrow your way out of debt and give away money? I can't imagine how stupid they can be there. Okay? It's absolutely purely insane. You can't afford to get gas. Don't go out. Okay? Get a better job. There's plenty available. Okay? I mean, with all these civil unrest and the destruction or the attempted destruction of the middle class. And I love America. I love it here. Okay. I don't like what's going on. I'm certainly very concerned, but certainly I love this country and will do anything for it. And I hope that Americans will wake up. And I do think that the squad, the haters, the morons are waking up. A big piece of the country that was sound asleep for years. And I think that they're going to turn out. And again, I don't really care how we get, a split house or a split government. I just don't like to see, whether Republican or Democrat, I don't want to see one party in control of all three branches of government. I think that's way too dangerous, and we're seeing it now. But thank God for Joe Manchin. And speaking of Joe Manchin, how about this? The Interior Secretary, Deb Haaland, who banned or canceled oil drilling leases. Now, we know that our number one natural resource in this country is oil. So we would rather pay Saudi Arabia more for oil. Okay. We would rather give up more money to get less, to be dependent on our enemies. Now, does that make sense to anybody out there? I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. Again, I get letters. Some people the nicer people try to word them. I know what side you're on. I don't care what side you're on. But the logic of what we're doing now, there is none. Okay, there is no logic to shut down your number one resource when we and other parts of the world are in desperate need. When we're paying so much more for it that basically it will hurt the retirement of many of the elderly in this country. Is it not bad enough that you tortured them with no interest rates forever, and now you want to make them pay for more for gas? Please. I mean, listen, let's face one fact. The green energy is a big lie. Okay, it's a big lie from our president, once again, because it costs 4 to 6 times to create that than they tell us, number one. Number two, it couldn't be finished for 40 years. Number three, we don't have the power grid to do it anyways. Again, we forget that we are always way behind, and we don't do anything until the emergency happens. Katrina could have been partially avoided, but of course, they didn't want to fix the levees there, so it happened. This is the same story. Okay, it is ridiculous that we have to deal with imbeciles like this, because again, pure logic will tell you that a country that is economically weakened for ignorance could suffer some major consequences, and I think that's might be where we're headed. Okay, now we'll see. But certainly it is not a pretty picture. It is not something that we want. And when you look at a 76 chain gas station in Washington State has reprogrammed their pumps to put $10 a gallon in gas. Now, I think, as you know, the biggest cost for the average biggest cost for everybody, okay, other than something unexpected, but your regular, every day, every week, every month cost, food and energy. And food and energy are exploding because A, we have oil prices that are way too high. B, we have a problem in Russia and Ukraine because 30% of the wheat crop lies there. And of course, you've already got riots going on in the Middle East that have shortages of food. So there are those that are calling for famine. Now, I'm not going to call for famine. I'm going to tell you there's going to be a food shortage, and Americans will be able to get food if you can afford it. And don't be surprised if 1 year from now, a loaf of bread is $10. Okay. Remember, all of those costs have to be covered by fuel. Okay. The fuel costs have got to be covered. The actual cost of wheat has got to be covered. The farmers' inputs, there's a lot of coverage that goes into these things that you're going to pay for. Okay. So we will continue to get this ridiculous inflationary cycle because the Fed is too stupid and was too stupid going back to Ben Bernanke. I guess we'll call them the Three Stooges. Okay. Who from 2013, when he should have hiked rates, did not. And nobody has done so until the last meeting from Jerome Powell. Now, that does not make sense. And that is when you say, I don't care what the asset class can do. We're going to price it the way we want it because we want to steal the money. Okay. We want to give the government free spending power, and we want to give Americans a special presentation of taxation without representation. In the meantime, we give housing now in pre-pandemic terms. Okay. Prices are going bonkers lower now after going higher. You've got a position that we're going to probably see this summer. Rolling blackouts because, of course, our power grid is going to be under the gun. The hot summer that looks like we might get is going to create some problems. And of course, gas prices keep hitting new highs. Okay. So we get all these wonderful benefits that our leader just loves to blame Vladimir Putin. Now, there's only one issue in this whole mess that can be tied to Russia and Putin, which is wheat. Okay. However, if the president would have done a better job at representing the United States before they went to war, we might have been able to help them avoid it. We used to carry a pretty big stick, as they say. Okay. So we might have been able to put it off and prevent it. But of course, the gutless wanderer who has stolen millions, God forbid he would stop a war. Okay. But of course, when you're trying to get to globalism, okay, you want to see these problems. You want to create and continue to bring up racism. I'm going to say this, that the racism in this country has been worse under Obama and now even worse under Biden. And until those two jackasses, we were making progress together. From Kennedy in the 60s, look, it was a rough period. To Clinton, okay, to Bush, we were making progress. Now they want to blame everything on Donald Trump. But of course, why wouldn't we blame him? The country only ran the best it ever ran when he was the president. Okay. And I assure you, somebody asked me last week, we would not have this war going on in Ukraine. President Trump would have put a firm fist down, and I don't believe that they would have gone to war because they would have been afraid of what the retaliation that they may reach other than these ridiculous sanctions that are really nothing. And in fact, we are still buying oil from them. So we're allowing them to make more money on us. So again, you can believe whatever you want, but I'm giving you, I think, is factual information. Okay. And again, not opinion based. It's factual. Okay. And I think that, look, Americans are going to suffer. This is going to be a very, very interesting and most likely a very, very tough year for Americans. And I think that their bank accounts are going to be stretched and stressed. We've already got way too much debt. Okay. We've already got the beginnings of a recession. I think we're in it already. But again, argue with an economist. I mean, you have no chance. So, they use old broken down models that are so off and so ridiculous, it's not even funny. But again, this is what we accept as Americans. Okay. And I think, again, we have to change these things. Even the Fed has to be redesigned because it's a phony corporation that is private that continues to steal from the Americans because your dollar buys less and less and less because they continue to pound and add that to that money supply. Okay. Now, the big question of the week is, what the hell did mothers do before there was baby formula? We don't hear about the food shortage anymore. We hear about the baby formula every day. It's in the headlines, baby formula. I understand, but we did exist before there was such an animal as baby formula. Okay. Somehow we were able to feed our children and have them grow big and strong. Okay. Without the baby formula. So, but yet we don't talk about the shortage in wheat. We don't talk about the shortage in other products. And we don't talk about the emptying of the stores of goods that cannot be replaced. But again, that is the progressives. That is this administration. And thank God they are so ridiculous because, my God, there's no chance that they can possibly keep control of all three branches of government. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 22nd. And of course, I want to remind you that we just did on yesterday, we did a webinar on hedging. And if you're not thinking about hedging now, you need a lot of help. Maybe you should quit investing because if you're not thinking about hedging now with what's going on and what's going to happen with these markets are going to get trashed, which we'll cover in our market report. But if not now, when? Okay. In the meantime, don't forget about our brokerage partners. I have many brokers, but our two partners, Capital Trading Group, by far for the futures and commodities business, they are by far the best. They're the only ones I can authorize for our low direction trading. And they are partners with me on the Day Trader's Dream, which is up huge. The regular is up 15%. The aggressive is up 98%. Okay. And I mean, they've got great stuff going on there. They handle all my money. So that'll tell you what I think about them. And of course, for equities and options, trade your brokerage. This is $10 a month, number one. Number two, we can auto trade through them at no charge. Number three, they're going to have cryptocurrencies. Number four, they got great customer service. Those are the two best brokers I've ever done business with in my 44 years. See their links that are scrolling on the side and the bottom. And of course, don't forget about our high school program. We're trying to get it rebuilt. It's a very expensive process. It's very hard because, of course, the woke society doesn't want something for free. Okay. It's interesting, but that's what it is. But anyways, it's at patreon.com/Bubba Trading. It's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report, and we'll get there right now. Welcome back to Bubba's Bottom Line. And of course, it is Sunday, May the 22nd. And whoo, doggy, the markets are in. They are cruising for a bruising, and we've only just begun. The carpenters, we've only just begun. This market looks like it's going to get slaughtered. Okay. And I've said, you've heard it here before first, long ago, not today, a long time ago. I expected 40 to 60% haircut. I think it might get worse. Now, I'll live with the 40 to 60 for right now. Now, there will be massive rallies in between somewhere. There's going to be these rip your face off, dead cat bounce rallies. Those are selling opportunities. Quit trying to buy the dip right now. We are in a nasty downtrend. On Friday, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ made new lows. Okay, they bounced off them, but they made new lows, which means that low will be tested. The Russell got close. Okay, the indexes are in shambles. They are going lower. There is nothing to buy for. Walmart and Target, did you see their earnings last week? Look at the damage in the stocks, down 30%. You know what it takes to get a Walmart or a Target down 30% off an earnings? It's laughable. Okay, so hey, you keep buying that dip. You're the one that is supplying the big brokers, the big guys, the institutions with ways to sell more. Okay. The euro currency is going to par, baby. I mean, we're still short it, and it's going to par. The dollar is a little bit lower last week, but we're still long. I mean, tell it's 104. All right, Bitcoin. I don't know. Again, I'm a believer, but as I've always told you, we trade it in the portfolio, which we are short. I own it in a wallet, which is obviously long. I don't buy more. I mean, I don't mind buying more. I don't trade it. I hold it. It's like my gold and silver. I am not getting rid of it. If it goes to zero, I've equipped myself mentally for the amount of money I'm going to lose. Okay? And speaking of gold and silver, we are still short both. Yeah, they had a little bit of a bounce last week, but wouldn't you expect the bounce when you go straight down from 1900 in gold? Platinum continues to struggle. We don't trade that anymore, but I assure you we'd be short if we did. Crude was basically flat, but it had a big week. It was down huge, I believe, Monday, and by the end of the week, it was basically flat on the week, but trading at 110 and change, going to 140 and 150 and 160. I'm sure very soon. I think we have to remember that again, it's a big resource, and we're at the mercy of the people that hate us. And we're so long crude, of course. Natural gas is over $8. It's ridiculous. Natural gas over $8 in May. Now, again, how's your heating and gas bills been? Your air conditioning bills? What about your filling up your car? We're still long, so I'm happy about that, but I'm not happy about the bills that I got to pay to go along with it. Copper had a little bit of a bounce, but it looks pretty bad right now. I mean, commodities long term are probably very bullish, but in the short term, anything can happen. And I think one of the things you see, and I want you to learn to recognize, a lot of times you see commodities under pressure when the equities are under pressure because the people that own them are looking to raise money for margin calls. Okay. So again, I would urge you to remember that commodities look like they're going to be pretty strong. And if the equities continue to solve, I think they're going to get much stronger. In the meantime, so copper, we're still short. Okay. The grain markets, we're long beans, we're long wheat, we're short corn. I'd like to be long them all. I hate being short corn here too. Again, whether I make money or not, I don't like it. I think I think the grains have a dramatic amount of room to run on the upside. That's my concern. If you tie in the food shortage and the other things that are going on, they got to go higher. But again, I'll trade the pattern the way I'm supposed to. I don't argue with the rules of what we do. Okay, so we're short corn, long beans, long wheat, and of course in the protein complex we're short it all. We will be long hogs tomorrow because they don't trade tonight. But we are short them all at the moment. I mean, but again, I think cattle and hogs are, first of all, they trade in a slight relationship, but I think the relationship is becoming even bigger, I think, to the oil market. Higher oil prices, I think, mean lower beef prices, which give hogs an opportunity. That's, I think, because again, I don't know how many people are running out for a steak in conditions when they have no money. So it's a problem. And as the rest of the softs, you've got cotton, it was down last week, but it's 145. Okay. We're still long. Coffee, we're long. It had a higher week. Sugar had a big week. We're long. Cocoa got crushed and we're short. And OJ was kind of flat and we're short. So, I mean, look, we had a good week. The funny thing is, it's not funny, but until the last hour on Friday, we were having every portfolio was higher. And then the last hour showed. But that happens. Okay. Our equity portfolios all made money. So, look, it's a process. Trading itself is a process. Being involved in markets is a process, and doing the right thing and learning. That's funny. I had drinks on Friday night with somebody who's in the industry, and she has the same problems that I have. It's trying to make people understand that you need patience, you need to follow a set of rules, and you have to have a guideline, a plan. You just can't say, "Well, they're going down, I'm going to buy puts." Again, you have to be able to trade correctly. So it looks like we head south. I would expect a dead cat, rip your face off rally at some point, especially if tomorrow morning, tonight is it's much harder to read with Sunday night involved. But if we're much lower coming in tomorrow, I would say there's a great chance to probably see a rally by Tuesday. But either way, I'm not going to predict anything. We're short. My positions. That's where we're going to stay. We're going to step out for our final break and come back with, of course, my commentary as I do every week. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 22nd. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to bore you by reading all the names off, but just check the sites. Trade Your Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, the high school program. They're all, the high school program helps me because I pay for it all, except for the few of you on Patreon who help me. The brokerage accounts are going to help you. I have other brokers, just to be clear, that I do have other accounts other places, but predominantly use Trader and Capital Trading Group. And I want you to benefit too. Okay. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday. It is March, May the 22nd. And, there are so many areas to pick from. But I think we really need to discuss the Americans that basically just hide in a shell and don't try to get involved. Like, they don't care about what is going on around them. And I don't, look, I don't care who you voted for. Again, I believe that everybody should vote. I don't care who you vote for. Okay. I mean, I voted for Trump, but I don't care who you vote for. But after you see performance, isn't it time to maybe think about something? Now, the disapproval rating of President Biden is one of the highest on history, maybe the highest. Okay. And seriously, when you look at it, what has he done for any of us or the economy or the atmosphere? What has he really done? First of all, I guess the real question is, what has he done in 47 years in office? Okay. Other than vote for every racist bill that has come down the pipe. Okay. But what has he done as the president of the United States? And again, if you have an idea, you tell me. I don't think he's done anything. I don't think he's done a damn thing to make this country better. I think that he has systematically followed the squad to make this country worse. Okay. I think he's letting the rest of the world take over our powers. Okay. And I don't know that we're still considered, even though we are, the dominant player in the world. Okay. So, between our athletes that don't give a shit about the people here, all they care about is the money they get from China, and our actors and actresses who don't give a shit and only care about the money they get, it's time that somebody and some of us start to really let our opinions known. But you don't have to go out all the way. You can certainly do it in a voter's booth, but you cannot be happy with the destruction of your personal wealth. And the good news is it's only going to get worse. Okay. That's their plan to destroy the middle class. If you're happy with that, then God bless. I'll be dead by the time it all happens, but I'm certainly not. I'm certainly sad for my children, grandchildren that I don't have yet, and for all of your children, because we are headed in a horrible direction by horrible people that hate this country, the squad being the top of the list. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. As always, I thank you. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be careful trading. It's still pretty thin. And until next week, or actually till tomorrow, Bubba's Day Update. We'll see you later. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see you.